Hello and welcome once again to those interesting interviews that we always do. So today I have with me an very interesting personality with us. He is an engineer, worked in the IT field for 15 long years, and he has been working with companies like TCS, Dell, and then after 15 years, he turned into an educational entrepreneur. Why? Because he wanted to fulfill his mission to empower and enable people with powerful communication skills. So today we have with us a person who is NLP certified, who is a professionally certified coach, and is an IELTS assessor. He has over 9,000 students and over 18,000 hours of behavioral and self-discovery skills training. Such an amazing personality we have with us today. Welcome, Srimaya Mahapatra.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such a warm welcome, ma'am.
So,
I'm really glad to be here.
Srimaya, we will start with the question of, since you are an engineer, this is one question many engineers have. Why and how did you start your online journey?
Okay, so my online journey actually started the moment I became an entrepreneur. Though I was not became an educational entrepreneur. So I left my job in 2017 after about 15 years of experience, and I started my own freelancing institute, or I positioned myself as a behavioral skills coach in the market, in the offline space. However, I always knew that online is really important, and I could not ignore that. So I was doing something or the other through YouTube videos, or LinkedIn posts, or some kind of influence building online. However, actually started taking it very seriously. I would agree. I mean, I think you would also agree, after the COVID happened and the waves started. So I really had to push the gear towards online more. And obviously offline started fading away. It was a sudden blow for many of us, many of the educational entrepreneurs. I'm pretty sure you must have gone through the same kind of journey. So since 2019, actually, I started taking online very seriously. And I would say that whatever I am right now in the online space, it's because thankfully I took it seriously.
Mm-hmm. So you had started your journey, but like other people, it was partly online, partly offline. But when COVID hit, instead of sitting and moping about COVID and its problem, what you did was you geared yourself up to jump into the online space and explore, learn. I am definite that learning would not be easy because this is a new field. So my next question will be based on that. What were the challenges? Because offline is a complete different ballgame. Coming to the online, you need to face many challenges. What were your challenges?
Right, that's a very good question, because I did face a lot of challenges while coming online. Um, I had though I already had some grasp online on online training. I exactly did not know the variables. When you try to train people online, uh, obviously the attention span, to be very honest, is not that great as compared to offline, because obviously in offline you have a lot of engagements.
Yeah.
So that was one of my biggest challenges, is to keep my learners stay attentive for a longer period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was desperately trying to push that, and I was trying to understand that what can make them stay attentive. So that was the first challenge that I got. The second challenge was pretty obvious, that I had no idea that digital marketing or marketing online when you're taking sessions online, and when you want yourself to be known in the market, but obvious that is your service to the community, so you definitely want to get known online as well. Now in offline space, it's probably completely different, but in online it's a whole different ball game. So you definitely need to understand, I definitely needed to understand what is digital marketing. I never knew about that. And sales as well. So selling something offline, when you're pitching your programs to corporates or organizations, it's a different ball game. But when you're pitching your program online to someone, it's a different ball game. So you really have to understand what is marketing online and marketing sales, online sales. So that those were the challenges, I would say. And I would say the last challenge, last but not least, was systems. You need to know what kind of softwares and tools and different types of systems packages that you can use, so that you establish really well in the online space. So those were the challenges that I faced.
Okay, so the first challenge that you said is a challenge, I think so every online teacher will be facing, because we come from the offline space. Now offline is a different world. Online, keeping the students engaged, as you have said, that is something we need to think about it and develop the strategies required for that. Yes, when you are pitching offline, you stay in a certain place, you know the people around there, word of mouth is a very big publicity, and you have some sort of a connect. But to build that connect online is a complete different strategy again. So there you had to face your problems. And third thing you have said, that how to do sales, because this is somewhere the whole world is your customer. Actually, customer base is very, very big, but how to do it? So like any other field, this also has a learning curve. You need to know the right things to learn, and then you can move forward. You have to have that motto of lifelong learner, because every single day some new tool is coming out, some new strategies are coming out, and you need to know whether those are useful for you or not. And if it's useful, you need to learn them. So what do you feel after going through these challenges, the position that you are in now? Are you happy?
Yes, I would definitely say, first of all, you very well summarized. Whatever you said is absolutely true, the offline versus online. And to speak in one sentence, I would say definitely I am happy that I was able to learn those skills, those very, very essential skills, which I don't think anybody should ignore if they want to come online. So definitely, I am very happy that I was able to adapt to them.
Mm-hmm. Adaptation. Yes, this is what we learn in science: adapt and move forward. So, now, what are the three most important skills that you feel that being an online teacher, the teachers should be having? Important skills.
Okay, so three most, well, I would say, as per the order, if you would ask me, then I would say the first thing would be to grasp the concepts of online without even looking at anything else. Skills, or any other digital skills, marketing skills, or systems. I believe first thing would be to understand that what others are doing in the online space, to understand how it is pretty different from offline, to get that feeling, that vibe, and if possible, get a mentor or someone, so that you understand that, okay, how online curriculum is pretty different than the offline curriculum. So the first thing I would say, concepts, that has to be priority number one. You really need to do a little bit of research before just jumping in to become build your online presence. That's number one, I would say. number two, if I have to prioritize, would be to definitely understand the systems and the tools, the systems, as you can say. So you need to understand that what kind of softwares and tools are going to help you build your online presence. So that would be the first thing. That, I mean, obviously we know that Zoom is there, Google Meet is there, but these are just, I would say, 10% of the entire software that you actually need to have a very strong presence online. So there are learning management systems, there are funnel builders, there are website builders, there are landing page builders, there are trackers. There are many softwares which actually, as a whole, as a conglomeration, will support your work. So you need to know that to stand out in the market, because I know that 90% of the people would just think online training means that we will have a Zoom call and probably we'll have a bunch of people, or probably we can have a Google Meet like they do in schools or something, or WebEx, something like that. So that's the best that they think, but there is so much more to it that you need to understand. So what are the softwares, what are the systems and tools that you need to use? You need to have that inclination, and you cannot just ignore it. And trust me, many people have this challenge that they think that they are not technically sound, but actually when you start in digging deep into those software, they are very well made and very user friendly. So all we have to do is to break that fear of that I'm not technically sound. You just have to remove that, throw it off the window, and start learning, okay, what else can be done to make it interesting. So that was point number two. And point number three, I would say the most important skill would be definitely digital marketing and sales, which is completely different, trust me, from offline marketing and sales. So that's, I mean, end of the day, if I mean, whatever you have, it doesn't matter unless and until you put it out in the market. You tell people, you advertise, you tell people that, okay, this is the value that I'm giving, and then you convert those convert people, so that you get some sales done. You get your products, your online coaching, something should be sold end of the day. Unless and until you tell people who you are, basically, I would say, as I learned from my mentor, basically you are doing a disservice to yourself and your learners, because there are so many learners who can learn from a fantastic trainer like you, but you're just sitting at your home and you're thinking that, okay, they will come to me, which would have been fine if you're just in a school or in a college. But if you really want to establish yourself differently than others, then you really have to go out there and let people know who you are. And therefore, you'll be able to service more and more people.
Yeah. So basically, you have to have an open mindset, because you are coming into a space which is different. First, we have to acknowledge that this space is different than the offline space. Then, as you have said, you need to find out what you need to teach. The beauty is that you can teach almost anything online. You can teach anything that you want. But again, as you have said, you need to know the concepts properly. You need to know how to put that out. Along with that, definitely you need to know how to sell your product, because somewhere down we have this mentality of going and working somewhere and getting money. That mentality and this mentality where you are putting yourself out in the online space is different. So since you are putting it out, as you rightly said, sales is important. You need to know how to sell. So previously, in the radio, we had only audio. So a person with a very beautiful voice could do a voiceover and the advertisement would be a hit. The moment TV came in, then audio along with visual came in. So there was a lot more experimentation, lot more things could be done just with that audio visual. Similarly, offline space was a good space. Today online has come. It has its own benefits and its own challenges. But as you have rightly pointed out, these 3, 4 things, if you are good at it, you can jump into this and take advantage of it, because the whole world is online now. Okay, now since we have heard about your challenges and the skills that you have discussed, what is the future of online training and coaching? This I am asking because COVID, for 2 years, everything was closed and people had jumped online. All the classes were going on online. Now, one day or the other, the virus will come to an end with the way it is going, the vaccines that we are having, and the way the third wave is going on. So, at some point of time, the country will open again. Once the country opens, what will happen? Will everything shift back offline, or the online system will grow? What do you feel?
Uh, that's a great question actually, and many, I'm pretty sure, would be wondering that, okay, whether we should take online space seriously or not. So let me give you a couple of things that there is no ending to this world now. The online space is growing at 5% rate, which means that by 2020 the Indian online education industry was estimated to be at $50 billion. And right now, in 2021, when 2021 got over, the numbers came in to be a $57 billion industry, and that's just the Indian market. When we go to the international market, I mean, the figures are really skyrocketing. $350 billion industry, which is probably, it's close to a trillion, right? So it is really going really smart, fast. And one more thing, which logically speaking, if you think logically, I remember doing this research or having a conversation with someone back in the day when I started my education industry, that 70%, that means 7 out of 10 people get their information from their pocket. They don't watch a television, or they don't listen to an FM radio. They don't, I mean, the word of mouth is there, no doubt, but basically, if I want something, 7 out of 10 people, if they want it, they get it from their pocket. And that is something which was surveyed by some of the greatest marketing agencies like PwC, PricewaterhouseCooper, and other Deloitte and other organizations. Right now that figure is 90%, which means that whoever you are teaching, whoever you think that you should teach, 9 of them are going to find you from their pocket, from their cell phone, from Google, from Facebook, from YouTube. That's how they're going to make a decision right then and there. People are buying everything online. If you want to buy an AC, or even a sandal, or even a kurta, or anything that you want to buy, where do you go? Do you think you go to a neighbor and ask, okay, which is a good kurta? No, you don't do that anymore. You go to Amazon, or you go to e-commerce website, you see the ratings, the reviews, you figure out, okay, what is good, what is not, and you order it. The same thing is happening with education. And there are market disruptors, as you rightly said, that these are huge disruption. As you said, television came and it completely disrupted the previously established huge audio market, and then so on and so forth. Similarly, there are disruptors in education like Udemy, like Bejus, like Unacademy, like Procto. There are so many other, like White Hat Junior, right? Who would have ever thought? I mean, I'm an engineer. I know we used to learn coding in a very, very different way, and very hard way. But right now, your kids can learn programming in their house while they are at 12 or 13 years old. Now, the beauty is, first of all, to think that the coding can be a complicated thing like coding can be taught to someone as young as 12 years. That is the first thing, the simplification part. And the second thing is reachability. You are basically giving a lot of service to everyone, and this is something which is a beauty, which is a marvel, and it is not going to end, and it is just going to grow and grow and grow. And I'm going to tell you that in one sentence, I would say that it's like a tsunami wave.
Mm-hmm.
And you are at the top of that wave. If you miss that wave, you're gonna get lost somewhere inside. So you have to be on the wave. You have to grasp as much online as possible, because it's just gonna grow. That's the future, no
Now,
doubt about it.
change is the only constant thing in our life, whether we like it or we don't like it. Change is the only constant. So today, in the online space, there is a lot of training, coaching going on. In online space, also one-to-one coaching goes on, group coaching goes on, trainings goes on, workshops we are taking, master classes we are taking. So there is definitely a shift. As you have rightly pointed out, the numbers, it is just increasing. Maybe because of the ease at which we can learn. Sitting in your own house at your own time, you can learn whatever you want to learn. So that ease is definitely there. And secondly, what happens in the online space is you can learn anything, right from people teaching communication skills for interview, communication skills for teachers, communication skills for your interpersonal relation, even for relationships for that matter. So simple thing, it can have varied applications, and that application is being taught here. So you can pick and choose. And it previously, whichever course you went, like for engineering, 4 years course, long course. In life, there are many things for which you don't need such a long course. It can be a short course. If you like it, you may go for long one. If you don't like it, then you leave that and you go for something else. This concept is very useful in the online space, and this will continue. As you have rightly pointed out, it's a tsunami, and we are sitting on top of the tsunami. We need to take advantage of it. It will not slow down. Like how when computer was first built, people said the computers will not be available at home. It's a huge thing and people will not use it. But today we have our cell phones in our pocket. Not only we, everyone around us. In a developing country like India, if you see, that every second person has a cell phone. So even online education will be such. So we are in the best of the time as teachers, trainers, coaches. We are in the best of the time because we can uh, give our knowledge out, share our knowledge, serve society by being here and learning a few things and then sharing our knowledge with others. Definitely, it's a very encouraging scenario that we are in. Now, we know we speak that different skills can be taught. Can you speak more about like what exactly, which skills can we teach online?
Well, as you already pointed out, that there is not a single thing which we cannot teach online. I mean, people might be wondering that, okay, how would you teach martial arts? Let's say, for example, I've been a martial arts student, and I remember doing it out 4 a.m. in the morning in the fields for 12 long years. But I see that now people are learning martial arts online. People are learning yoga online. They don't have to go to a boot camp, offline boot camp, to learn yoga. I mean, they can do everything at home. And as you very adequately said, that it's the ease of bringing the information and along with it the transformation. So there is no skill, I would say, which cannot be taught. For example, who would have ever thought in the 1970s or 80s, maybe, because I'm from 80s and I know, who would have ever thought that if you wanted to know how to make rotis, because I'm very bad at making rotis, so so if you want, who would have thought that making rotis, you don't have to depend on your mother or your spouse or your sister or someone, but you can actually learn it in YouTube from a 3 minutes to 4 minutes video. I learned it from YouTube. I whether it is cooking, whether it is gardening, whether it is growing your own fruit in your balcony. You can
Mhm.
actually grow fruits in your balcony.
Mhm.
Everything is taught online, and it is the ease of bringing that information and transformation. And not only that, I would like to add over here that this is going to be more and more standardized and regularized, right? So just like cryptocurrency, any kind of market disruption happens, you know that you cannot quit it. You know that everybody understands now that nobody can leave online training. It is the thing. The only thing that is now pending for the authorities to do is to regularize it.
Mhm.
So now, from the authorities, from top level, the regularization is going to happen. The certification, online certification process is going to happen. As you adequately said, that 4 years of engineering, I won't be surprised that entire 4 years of engineering is done online, and it won't be a problem because we know how to train differently online. People are learning it. And if, as an educator, as a teacher, as a lecturer, if you can understand how to simplify things and make this bring transformation to your learners, then everything is going to be regularized. So just get on it. The authorities have already started working on regularization of the certification process online. Engineering, PhDs, master degrees, everything is going to be online. So don't get surprised. Instead of getting surprised, understand that that's exactly what is going to happen, and as soon as possible, learn it.
Mhm.
That's what I would say. There's not a single
Yeah.
skill which you cannot taught,
It
which you
cannot
cannot
be
teach. Sorry.
taught. Yeah.
Right.
So the thing is that one, we are moving away from a heavy knowledge-based teaching to a problem-solving approach. So
Very well said.
when this shift is happening, now we actually don't need to know things and memorize them and repeat them. What we need to know is how to solve a problem, and that your online teaching is providing you. Yes, the future looks very bright, and those who are not yet come on board on this, please do so. It's out for all the teachers and trainers. Just think over it, join it, learn it step by step. It is again a man-made thing. All these processes, all these funnels, all these LMS systems are man-made. So we as human beings, we can definitely learn it. It looks overwhelming. It takes time. Like in one day, you don't become an engineer or a doctor. You need time to learn to go through the process. Similarly, in online space, you need time. You go through the process, and then you learn how to be the best trainer online, and then you'll feel so happy because you are able to share your knowledge with many more people. Thank you, Srimaya. Thank you so much for joining me in this lovely chat. And so much I learned from you regarding the online space that you are in right now, and you are doing amazingly well. Thank you so much. We will see you again in another episode. Bye bye for now. Take care. Do hit the like and subscribe button if you want to get more such videos. Please write in the comment section what videos would you like me to share with you all. With that, bye bye. Take care.